I have some good news for all the ladies that are watching. Pastor Stephen Anderson of the Faithful Word Baptist Church has some solid advice for you.
Are you busy cooking? Because that's what the Bible says you're supposed to be busy doing. And you say, how dare you preach this? You're a man. But I'm just preaching the Bible, though. I don't have to apologize for preaching what the Bible says.
I think you should apologize for that. But go on.
You can tell your husband, here, honey, thanks for working so hard today. Here's a bologna sandwich on Wonder Bread. I mean, that's not looking well to the ways of your household. I'm sorry. My wife spends hours cooking every day. This is what you're supposed to be spending your time on. You say, well, I have all these other important things. Well, what does the Bible say is important? When I first got married, I just said, you know what? I'd rather that my wife is doing something productive. And I told my wife, I said, we're not going to have a TV because you should be doing something productive with your time. And she said, well, what am I going to do? She said, I don't have any children yet. I don't have a job. What do I do with my time? And I said, you know what? I said, just cook me 3 awesome meals a day. Just really hit it out of the park.
And why would any woman want to be a Christian again? I mean, if you think this guy sounds like a misogynistic asshole, you're right. But it's Christian doctrine that allows for this attitude. I mean, Christianity teaches that women are inferior to men. And basically that's what this pastor is saying in so many words. He's not even hiding it. The Bible calls you the weaker vessel. Women's roles are to be married, keepers of the home, bearers of children, and sex partners for their husband. This is what your world revolves around. The primary reason that women have historically been denied basic civil rights is because of the teachings of the Christian Bible.
It's not just about being a robot. It's not just about just being, this mindless drone or slave, which is what the world will try to portray biblical Christianity and biblical roles as. Oh, you just want your wife to be this, drone in the kitchen, all day, just slaving and working and not expanding her mind down at the university.
Okay, so what is it about then? I mean, I don't even buy that there's a dichotomy there. But let's grant that for a second. Why do women belong in the kitchen as opposed to getting an education?
The university is filling your mind with scum. Okay? When the Bible talks about a virtuous woman, she's not a what's the word? She's not a dunce. She's not a dummy. I mean, does this look like we're reading about a dummy?
Well, we're sure listening to one right now. But that's your justification? Oh, the Bible has all the knowledge a woman ever needs to know. I'm sure, according to you. Oh, please, tell me more about your views on education. Go ahead.
I don't even understand why you even have children if you're going to just drop them off at the government school so they can be brainwashed to be a wicked, God-hating pervert. And I'm not saying that's how they're going to turn out, but that's the goal of that system, to make them turn out that way. And if they don't turn out that way, it's going to be a miracle. And you got to thank God every day for it. I mean, if you can get out of that place without being corrupted, you're an amazing person. Okay? And you have an amazing family. Because I'm telling you, that is the goal. That place is run by Satan. The public school is run by the devil himself. Obviously, he has an authority structure. He has little devils working under him at the school boards and school district levels. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not ashamed to tell you that institution is run by Satan. It promotes sodomy. It promotes godlessness, atheism, evolution, humanism, perversion, relativism. I mean, we could go down the list of the abominations of public school, but ladies today, they want to eat the bread of idleness, so they drop their child off at public school and say, here, raise my child for me. But why even have a child if you're giving it unto Satan to be raised?
I always suspected that my high school principal was the devil. Hold on. I have to inform someone of this.
Hello?
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. Do you remember when back in school, I used to get in trouble sometimes.
Hold on a second. Yeah?
I just want to call and let you know that, I know that was a lot of headaches, but that wasn't my fault because Satan runs the school systems.
What?
Satan, he runs the school systems.
What are you talking about now?
Oh, that's what this pastor on YouTube said. Hey, how come you didn't homeschool me?
What?
How come you didn't homeschool me?
Because I didn't. It would be easier to go to public.
Oh, because you wanted to eat the bread of idleness?
What?
Okay, so, back to women. You were saying, Pastor? Go on.
So the Bible talks about the one who, it says it's better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a loud and contentious woman. It says the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. Now that is like that Chinese torture method, okay? You know, the continual drop, it's like where they lay you out on your back and they drip water on your forehead. And you look at it and you say, that doesn't look that bad. It's like people who look at waterboarding. And they say, oh, waterboarding, that's not torture. But then they do it to somebody and they're like, it's torture, it's the worst thing ever. Because sometimes things are worse than what they look. Now, you know, if you ask me, which torture would you like? You know, I'll say, give me that dripping thing. The Bible says the contentions are of a wife are a continual dropping. So, you know, again, it might be something that on the outside doesn't look like a big deal to women when they're continually contentious and argumentative. They may think like, this isn't a big deal. It's just a drip of water. What's the big deal? But it's torture.
I specifically remember asking if you would do the dishes today, and it's like 5 o'clock, and they're still not done. And guess who's sitting on the computer playing a game while I have to do them? You know what? I'm tired. You know what? I'm tired of this. All the time. Always asking. Always asking me never to do it. You never do it. Video games. All video games. It's not fair. It's not fair. I'm the only one who... Do you even hear me?
Come on. Really? Really?
The thing that is constantly used to describe the wrong type of woman is loud, stubborn, contentious, or argumentative, okay? As opposed to in her tongue is the law of kindness.
So what about when women have a reason to be argumentative? You know, say her husband's giving her one, for example. You just want them to be quiet and meek anyway, because that's their role. It's not their place. Doesn't matter what it's about. Doesn't matter how much purpose there is to it. Well, they just gotta take your shit. You know, okay, granted, you know, you got your woman to cook for you. You got your woman under your palm. But how can you respect her? How can you have any respect for a woman that just eats your shit? I wouldn't want to be with a woman like that.
You look at the celebrities, you look at the music stars, the pop stars, the movie stars. The women are these very independent, I can do it all myself, I don't need a man types. And that is not biblical. And that is not who I want my children emulating. I'm not going to let my daughters listen to that music or watch those movies. Because I don't want them to think that that is what a woman should strive to be. The Bible says a woman should strive to have a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price.
An independent woman? Oh no, God forbid. I mean, we can't have that, right? A woman whose self-worth is built on something other than her duty to her husband? Oh, but it's okay for you to strive for those kind of goals, right? Man, penises come with so many perks.
But isn't this the standard that you should be aiming at? Aren't these the areas that you should be working on? Isn't this the goal that you should strive toward? And I could find godly men in the Bible and use them as role models. And I may never attain unto Moses or David, or I may never attain unto the Apostle Paul. But shouldn't I look at the Apostle Paul and say he's a model that I can try to emulate? Well, that's what you ladies should do.
Interesting. All right then. Hey ladies, here's a look at who some of your role models ought to be. Eve, the gal who started it all. Death, sin, expulsion from paradise, pain in childbirth, men breaking their backs in the field, all her fault. Hagar, the slave pressed into extra special service for the father of Israel when he couldn't manage an heir with his wife. Lot's wife, turned into a pillar of salt for the crime of glancing back at the old family home. Rahab, the hooker who betrayed her people to Joshua. 300 concubines, King Solomon's playthings. Miriam had the audacity to question Moses. God made her a leper for a week to keep her from getting uppity again. The Midianite women, good for raping after a hard day's slaughter of their husbands and children. If they're virgins, otherwise kill them. Your brother's widow, your next baby mama. Jephthah's daughter, virgin sacrifice to God, who is also Jesus, who Christians worship. Jesus approves of virgin sacrifices. Delilah, poor Samson. Jezebel, synonymous with hooker, a newer, flashier version of Eve, leading her man into destruction. Some dude's daughter and concubine. Rape him, kill him, leave him on my doorstep. Just don't engage in butt sex with my male house guest. Michal, David's wife. She got uppity and God punished her by making her infertile. Tamar, a virgin raped by her brother and shunned for the crime of being raped. Pregnant women, good for ripping open and performing field abortions at God's command. Never let them tell you God hates abortions. He custom orders them, and he made the abortionist king of Israel. Mary Magdalene was a demon-possessed former prostitute, and Jesus was such an awesome dude, so forgiving, so unbelievably wonderful and godlike, that he actually let a formerly promiscuous woman hang around with him. Isn't that amazing? And Holy Mary, Mother of Jesus, the most revered woman in the Bible. And what was her claim to fame? She managed to have a child without defiling herself by having sex. The perfect woman by virtue of not repeating Eve's mistake of corrupting a man.
Okay, what the fuck? I can't believe that there's a single woman left in this audience right now. Not a single one of you had the courage or the self-respect to stand up and leave after hearing this misogynistic bullshit. Not only did you not have the courage to get up and leave, but you sat there nodding your head the whole time. And this bitch said I'm in like 5 times. That is unacceptable. That is ridiculous. Is that really what you think you're worth? The Bible says right here that you are worth 3/5 of a man. What the fuck is the matter with you women? A good Christian man, according to this guy, a Christian that believes what the Bible says, doesn't want a wife, apparently. He wants a slave. This guy didn't mention a single thing that he wants a woman to do except for cooking. That's the only thing he talked about the whole time. And not nagging. Cook and don't nag. Those are the 2 rules for being a woman.
the world doesn't agree with anything I've said today.